that day, and frankly, I resent the insinuation that those of us who asked him questions are somehow anti-Muslim or prejudiced in some way. I think it's outrageous. I think it's absolutely outrageous. My issue with Mr. Mangi is I don't care what his religion is or if he has a religion. I don't care. But I do care that he was the director of a center that was basically a mouthpiece for Hamas. And
What's going on, patriots? Welcome back to Freedom's Voice, where we call out hypocrisy, defend our freedoms, and stand up for truth in this country. Today, we've got another wild moment out of the U.S. Senate. A senator just got blasted, labeled anti-Muslim, simply for questioning a Biden nominee, Mr. Mangi, who, by the way, has been linked to a center accused of supporting Hamas narratives. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's talk about it.
Mr. Chairman, I was not going to say anything because I asked quite a few questions of Mr. Mangi, and so I thought I had made my views clear. But I have to say, after you, a moment ago, not only read that letter into the record, which you're perfectly entitled to do, but before you did that, you said that those of us who had questioned Mr. Mangi on that day took this committee to a new low. Oh, yes, you did.
I didn't name names.
You didn't name names. You said those of us who questioned him took it to a new low.
Some did.
And that would be those of us on this side. And I did question him on that day. And frankly, I resent the insinuation that those of us who asked him questions are somehow anti-Muslim or prejudiced in some way. I think it's outrageous. I think it's absolutely outrageous. And frankly, as someone who has worked across the aisle on any number of pieces of legislation, you know, Mr. Mangi, supported by my friend Senator Booker, that is certainly a major point in his favor. And it's been a delight to work with Senator Booker on pieces of legislation in this committee and with you, Mr. Chairman. But I have to say, it's hard to do when you call us anti-Muslim racists, which is basically what you just did a moment ago. It's on video. Everybody can see it. I mean, truly, that is absolutely outrageous. And so I'll just reiterate again, my issue with Mr. Mangi is I don't care what his religion is or if he has a religion. I don't care. But I do care that he was the director of a center that was basically a mouthpiece for Hamas. And he said over and over, all his concerns were academic. My question is, did he not have concern about Jewish students? We've seen Jewish students barricaded in libraries after October 7th, barricaded in libraries, fearing for their lives. Did he not think that a center which actively promotes genocidal rhetoric might have some effect on the students he was supposed to be helping? I think that's a legitimate set of questions. Now, we can disagree on it. Clearly, we do. And I say again, I respect the support that he has from Senator Booker and others. That's fine. But I think in light of the events of October 7th, not just overseas, but in this country, and in light of what Jewish Americans have suffered in this country, in my own state, in the state of Missouri, in the city of St. Louis, we've had Jewish businesses spray painted with the worst sort of anti-Semitic slogans, graffiti, swastikas. We have Jewish students in our campuses in Missouri on the WashU campus say they feel unsafe. I don't think it's unreasonable to ask a gentleman who advised a center on campus that has spouted this kind of propaganda why he was associated with them. So I just take strong exception to that, Mr. Chairman, and I have to say, I wish you'd retract your remarks because I think they were totally inappropriate.
A senator dared to ask tough questions, not about religion, not about faith, but about connections. Connections to a group that's reportedly shown sympathy for Hamas, the same terrorist organization responsible for brutal attacks against innocent people, including Jewish students here in the United States who are now being harassed on college campuses. But the moment he brought that up, the chairman basically accused him of bigotry. Really, that's where we are now? You question someone's political ties or moral judgment, and suddenly you're anti-Muslim? Give me a break. Look, as a proud American, I don't care what religion somebody follows. Muslim, Christian, Jewish, atheist, doesn't matter. What I do care about is whether people in positions of power have ever supported groups that hate this country or excuse terrorism. That's not Islamophobia. That's common sense and national security. And let's not forget what's happening right now. Jewish students on college campuses are afraid to walk to class. Anti-Semitic protests are breaking out. People are tearing down hostage posters, screaming hateful slogans. And our leaders are supposed to just ignore that? Sorry, no. Patriots don't stay silent when hate is spreading in plain sight. And here's the thing. When a Republican asks questions, it's hate speech. When a Democrat does it, it's oversight. This double standard is sickening. This senator was right. The chairman owes him and the American people a retraction. Because calling someone prejudiced for simply defending Jewish students and national integrity, that's completely out of line. We used to be able to have real debates in this country. Now, if you step out of line with the left's narrative, you're immediately branded a bigot. At the end of the day, this isn't about religion. It's about responsibility. If someone's connected to groups that push anti-Israel or anti-American rhetoric, we deserve answers before handing them power. Period. And to that senator, thank you for standing your ground. We need more voices in Washington with the guts to say what millions of Americans are thinking. Patriots, we've got to keep speaking up. We've got to protect this country from double standards, from cowardice, and from anyone who puts ideology above truth. If you agree that questioning ties to pro-Hamas organizations is just common sense, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. Let's make sure the truth gets heard loud and clear. God bless you, God bless our troops, and God bless the United States of America. USA.